Hello everyone, and welcome to the Cisco Secure Email Series updates. This video will cover specifically the Password Protected File Analysis (PPFA) feature. You can configure the content scanner in your email gateway to scan the contents of password-protected attachments in incoming or outgoing messages. The ability to scan password-protected message attachments in the email gateway helps an organization to detect phishing campaigns that use malware as attachments in messages with password protection to targeted limited cyber attacks. The capability to analyze messages that contain password-protected attachments for malicious activities and data privacy. So the first thing that we need to see, if we go to Scan Behavior, edit global settings, and we already see here the enables scanning of password protected documents. Obviously, we need to choose both as enabled, and if you want to choose, there's a probable password for analysis. If we click here, we see that this can be entered by the administrator. There's a few passwords that we can introduce. The maximum of 5 passwords can be defined. In our case, I'm going to disable this feature and going to allow password protected file analysis to dig through the email, making sure that it finds the right password to use on our document. Protect it with a simple password. This is a simple document protected by a simple password that has the following URL. I have a bad reputation. This should trigger one of our policies. Going back, after enabling this gets enabled for all email. Within the mail policies, we need to create an appropriate content filter. In our case, we're going to start first with an incoming content filter. I created here a few. One of them is going to be the attachment found. So if I dig deeper, attachment protection. If the document is found to be protected, then we're going to have a message, a log entry, and that log entry is basically what I wrote here. So let me close, it's easier here. Protected file attachment found, and this is the inbound direction. At the same time, I wanted to create a content filter when we're opening the document. Protected attachment opened. And here I'm looking for something within the document itself. This proves that the document was opened, bank. And I'm going to add the log entry, protected file attachment successfully opened, again in the inbound direction. After this is created, I created one last content filter. Obviously, you don't need to create as many. I just wanted you to see all this in action. And I have the remove attachment. So here, I only have an action, which is easy to see. If the URL reputation is untrusted, and I know I have a bad reputation.com will be, then I'm going to check if there's URLs within the attachment. If that is the case, I'm going to strip that attachment because it contains malicious payload. Within our incoming mail policies, you'll see here I have a PPFA demo. I've disabled everything and just left the content filters. I'm going to add an additional one. So I want the one that when it's found, when it's opened, and once we remove the attachment. So let's test it. So this is my email. My email is going from one of my test accounts to another one. Has a subject, has an attachment. This is the password protected attachment I showed you in the beginning. And says, as mentioned, please find my new bank details. It has the password inside and then says proceed with the bank transfer ASAP. When I send this email, where the email comes from, I see here the bank account file. I see here that it was found in the inbound direction. The attachment was opened. That means we managed to open because we found the text bank. And within the attachment, the action attachment stripped. So you can see here being stripped. The message finished, and that is basically what we wanted. received the email, but now with the attachment removed as it contains malicious payload. The other great thing that we can do is add this to the outbound piece as well. So for that, I'm going to use an example with the DLP action. So for the DLP, I came to text resources. I've created a disclaimer in the notification. So sending sensitive information is inconsistent with corporate policies. I've also created, as I mentioned, a disclaimer. I then went to the DLP policy customizations, and here I added a message action for the demo violation. So you can see here what's happening, what's the action I want to do. I want it quarantined. I added the disclaimer, and I want a DLP notification sent to the sender. I went to my outgoing content filters, created the same file open, file found, and the demo that it's not in use in this case because I'm not going to strip. I'm going to use the DLP. So let's see our outgoing mail policies. PPFA demo, protected file found, protected file open, and then I'm not going to use anything else but the DLP. For the DLP, I've used the bank account number in Italy, which is something that you can find here. And because this is a centralized management, I've also created a new quarantine. So you can see it here, DLP violations PPFA demo. So this time I'm going to use a different file in the outbound direction. The file I created for this particular scenario, it's a bank account information, this time for Italy, could be Portugal or other country. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this information across. Because it's going to trigger the DLP policy, hopefully we'll see also the notifications coming regarding the DLP violation. This can be confirmed as I now found the file, outbound direction. I also managed to open it, and I found a DLP violation. As you can see, because of that match, now I tried to add a disclaimer. I added it as an attachment, and I enqueued for transfer for the centralized quarantine that we created earlier. At the same time, we received this information. Sending sensitive information over a password-protected document is inconsistent with corporate policies on acceptable use. The message is attached because of my policies. Hopefully you found this session useful, and we managed to see 2 use cases where we can use our content scanner to scan contents of password-protected attachments in incoming and outgoing messages. I do hope you find this video useful. Thank you so much for watching.